story time, it's story time. Are you ready for my story time? Once when I was a young boy and my mother had divorced my father, over the course of years she took up with several men. The one I'm going to talk about now, she lived with the last one. He was the last one she lived with, I should say. It was in the 90s. I would say around 93, maybe 94. They used to argue all the time. In fact, it was earlier than that. It probably started in 92, but it doesn't really matter. They used to argue all the time. And one time, Mr. G, as we shall name him, broke the television set that we had, that my mother had had for years. She'd had it since the early 80s. He got very angry and he stood up, and he couldn't have his own way over some trivial thing, probably involving drugs, but I don't know. He got up and he turned the telly over and it broke. So anyway, big row ensues. 3-4 days later he comes back, he moves back in. I wouldn't have had him move back in, or somebody like that, but she let him move back in. And he borrowed the television set from his mother, a black and white one, nowhere near as good as the one we had before. So we had to watch everything in black and white. If you remember the episode of Biker Grove, when the one who is out of Ant and Dec gets blinded, they shoot him in the eye. By the way, going off the point slightly, as soon as he pulls off his mask, these two girls that couldn't hit the side of a barn become, crack marksmen, and he hit him in each eye. But anyway, we were watching in black and white, and it looked like his face was melting because we couldn't see the color of the paint. Anyway, going back to the main point I was making, he kept going on about it's my TV, it's my TV, it's my TV, it's my TV, every 5 minutes. To the point that about 2 o'clock in the morning one night, my mother got sick of it, and him. And she asked him to leave, and he wouldn't, and they had a big row, and I woke up in my bed, as I did on so many occasions, to hear them rowing. And then she started throwing things at him. After about 45 minutes, he took the hint, and the stairs were right in front of the front door. And he was just going out, and just as he was about to go out the door, I heard my mother say, "You want your fucking TV? Take your fucking TV." And she threw it at him from the top of the stairs to the bottom, and it hit him. And the next thing I heard was, "Oh, you just hit me with a TV." It was so funny. That bit, I mean, not the rest of it. Another time, they bought an Egyptian-style pyramid lamp between them. And he kept going on and on and on. I bought half of it, I bought half of it, half of it's mine, half of it's mine. And one night when they got into a row, she said to him, "Oh, you want half your fucking lamp?" She picked it up and she smashed it into the top of his skull. And he went, "Oh, you've hit me in the head with a pyramid lamp." And he was bleeding all over his face. And me and my sister were cowering in the corner, but we had to laugh at that. And the last one I'm going to tell you was another time when they bought a picture together. And he kept going on about how half of it was his. You see, he was a very materialistic person, and he still is. And he didn't learn his lesson, because she said, "You want half of this fucking picture?" And she picked it up and smashed it over his head. This was after about 6 months of him going on about how it was half of his. So the lesson is, kiddies, don't buy half things with people you don't really like. It'll only end in tears or laughter, depending on your point of view. This person I still know. He will not know I am talking about him on this video. But if he finds out, I'm sorry. I'm only telling the truth. I'm only telling the truth. And you know I am.